All right, so we're calling this public session to order, this session of the EDC to order. So we're going to start with our comments if we have any. Please advise the comments since we kept the 3 minutes or less. Citizens may comment with regards to the agenda or pertaining to ADC policies or range of services. As to items not on the agenda, the board may not discuss or take action on the issue besides existing policy requests not to be placed on the agenda in the future, or may refer a question to the staff. So, do we have any public comments?
I'll talk.
My name's Mike Fisher, live in the city. You guys know me, most of you guys. I just want to kind of give a little bit of background because I was hoping Mr. Carter was here, but I believe he's a pawn. I believe he's a pawn of the Underwood law firm. I believe is this Mr. Atkins?
Yep.
Those guys work for Amarillo National, and Amarillo National controls this place. And every time somebody gets called into the Underwood law firm, the waiters are sitting in the back. And what the ADC has evolved into is this channel of money that just goes back to them. This all started out downtown. A lot of this stuff the corruption that we're talking about today, it started in this very building. This building was purchased by our former mayor and her husband. And then it turned into the two tenants here ended up moving into, when I moved into a new building, the biggest tenants here, XL and WT, moved into new buildings that were all brokered by our former mayor while she was on the ADC. They've totally turned this into a win for them. And I have a saying, if you do it for the wrong reasons, it never works. And none of this has worked. Downtown still sucks. And we're spending all this money on this, and we can't rent any space. We've done all this stuff for the wrong reasons. And none of this new stuff is leased. We spent all this money. If you do it for the right reasons, it'll happen. And we've got to encourage capitalism, free market, let other people own property down here. If we want this to work, we've got to have a ton of people with a ton of different ideas, not just one family, not the rares that put their thumb on everything and think that they know what's cool. I mean, this thing from this building, what I already mentioned, to the Coca-Cola deal, to the Embassy Suites, that was all, we own, most people don't know, the city owns the Embassy Suites. Does anybody know that? Does everybody know that? We own it, but they gave it to the city, and so that the city basically says, we'll take care of the taxes, you'll just get all the money. And then they turned around and pumped up the occupancy with COVID money on the 2 hotels down here downtown, pumped up the occupancy during COVID, sold them to a publicly traded company at an inflated price of 5 times the pricing that you could build a new hotel for 5 times that. So $250,000 per room they sold these hotels for to a publicly traded company because we inflated the occupancy and made them think that we had some gold mine downtown because these hotels were occupied 100%. That's securities fraud.
Hey, Mike, how much time do we have left?
10 seconds.
Well,
Okay.
Hustle.
All right, yeah, thank you. Thanks for the warning.
Take 1 more minute.
And thank you. What I'm trying to say here is it's not working. And I hope that there's a direction of, Mr. Fairley, I mean, I don't know your story. I have suspicions of everybody. I hope you're a good man. I hope you are. I hear a lot of good things about you, but I've heard a lot of good things about everybody. And I think you might be, but I'm not sure. But I think if we had been here from the beginning, I don't think we'd be here right now. For all these guys that have been showing up and holding everybody accountable, we all need a brother to keep us accountable because we're all human and we're all sinners and we're all going to screw up. And that's what we're here for. So if you think I'm just a guy here to get you in trouble, I'm just trying to keep you in check, and I want you to keep me in check too. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any others?
Hey, hold this for me. Sure.
I'm John Adair. One thing I wanted to bring up, and I know this is a new board. I know y'all walked into a lot of problems. And I think y'all's number one goal right now is restoring a lot of public trust. And something I noticed is at the end of every meeting, y'all sit here and discuss the scheduling of the next meeting. And I'll take last meeting, for example. The next meeting was scheduled for February 18th, and we're here today on January 31st. A lot of people watching that would mark that in their calendar, February 18th, and then they would quit looking at the website to see updates and stuff. And that almost has the appearance of trying to hide something or prevent people from making it to these meetings. I would ask, can we do something to get on a set schedule or something to where that's not happening? That's all I would bring up.
Statement of fact, this was an emergency meeting. This wasn't a scheduled meeting.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it was done and noticed the way it was. This was not scheduled. Our other meeting will be scheduled just like it is. This was an emergency meeting.
Okay.
That's why. It's not for any other purpose.
And we've also had, like before then, there was where the city had 2 meetings listed, and then after one meeting, y'all changed it, and then the meeting that the city had scheduled never happened. I think it was the 21st. But if we could just, all I'm saying is like if we could just get on a set schedule, kind of like city council is or something, that way everybody knows and it's easy. And it doesn't give an appearance of anything. That's all I had. Thank you.
Any others? Okey-dokey. Okay, so, sorry, but, what's that? Okay, so that's the end of public comments. Sorry, but I'm like cheating up there. I'm traveling rookie. Okay, so now I think we're gonna go into executive session. Do I need to read what we're doing?
John, you mind going to reading that?
Yeah, so we're gonna go into, you requested me to read it in, Chairman
I'm not
Bradley?
requesting you to read it. Do we need to read it?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. Requesting me to read it in.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we're, the meeting of the Amarillo Economic Development Corporation Board of Directors is going to go into executive session to discuss the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer and or employee in accordance with Texas Government Code Section 551.074, President and CEO, and also to consult with an attorney on a matter in which the attorney's duty to the governmental body under Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct conflicts with the Texas Open Meetings Act in accordance with Texas Government Code Section 551.071, separation agreement. And at this time, we'll go into closed session.
Okay, we're going to a closed session. Who we're asking to take session under 5 voting members and we'd like to. Yeah, right. Okay. So we're ending the closed session, and we're coming back into open session. We ended the closed session earlier at 9:12. I forgot to look at that. And we're coming back into open session now at 11:10. The first thing we're gonna do is just take a 5-minute break before we continue to.
Thank you.
Give us 5 minutes and we'll be back. A couple people need to just get a quick break. Back into open session at 10:18. 11:18, sorry. It's supposed to be 5 minutes, I think 8 minutes. Okay, so the next item on the agenda, number 4, is discussion, consider, and take appropriate action on the employment, evaluation, and reassignment, duties, discipline, and dismissal of presidency. So I'll open that to discussion. Any discussion?
I'd like to make a motion.
Okay, no discussion? Okay. I was quick on the gun here. Go
I'll
ahead.
read it here. Got it on my computer. I make a motion to authorize Alex Fairley as chairman of the board to offer, negotiate, and execute a separation agreement with Kevin Carter, whereby, among other terms deemed reasonable by Mr. Fairley, his regular base salary is paid under his employment agreement, authorizing $0 as his final performance bonus, providing his employment ends at close of business today, and waiving all claims against the AEDC. That's it.
Okay, we got a second?
Second.
Second, any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, motion carries 5-0. Okay, I think we're ready to adjourn. I think I just would like, and this will be the only statement that I make to the media. I think I just would like to tell Kevin thank you. I think it's been a little over 5 years, Kevin, and I think a lot of good work has been done. And I think on behalf of the ADC board and the ADC and Amarillo, we want to tell you thank you for these years and wish you the very best going forward as you go on to the next thing. All right. Okay, meeting is adjourned.
All right, thanks. I guess we have to find out later. Here's the payment. No, what?
Yeah. Thanks, Deepak.
Yes, you're good. Copy of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
See you guys.
John,
Sorry, their finger blast going through the dad.
he said we'll
That
go
old mess.